What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my Hot Topics and Social Commentary live Thursday night at 8. We are here, y'all. I'm ready to get up into this thing, y'all. A couple things I want y'all to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to match that thing, y'all. So go ahead and match it for a brother. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video and all my other videos. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various topics that we'll be discussing on tonight. And also be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know that JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. I'm so glad that you guys have decided to join me for tonight's show. I'm so grateful that you guys are here with me. So let's get into this. So I believe it was either Tuesday or Wednesday morning, I believe it was. Hold on, let me go back to my call log to see when my bestie called me. When was it? It was Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday, my best friend Lenora called me. Shout out to my best friend Lenora. We've been friends all of our lives. And she called to tell me that the legendary soul singer D'Angelo passed away. He passed away, I believe, at the age of 51, if I'm not mistaken. He passed away from his battle with pancreatic cancer. I had no idea that he was dealing with this issue. I don't know if the general public knew that he had cancer at all. Jennifer was a huge fan of D'Angelo back in the day. She was definitely playing Brown Sugar back, forth, up, down all the time. Well, I heard it all the time. Me personally, I wasn't that big into his music. I had never been the biggest fan of what was called neo soul back in the early 2000s. It just really didn't catch my interest, to be honest. But that's not to say that D'Angelo was an amazing artist. He was an amazing singer. He was so extremely talented. When he came back at the BET Awards that one year, and everyone was so excited, and they were ready to see what else he was going to do. Of course, I think his most famous song is Untitled, How Does It Feel? Obviously, because of the video of him, being in that video and, the way that he presented himself. And I'm sure that caught everyone's eye. But I feel so bad for his son that he had with Angie Stone. That young man lost both of his parents within a span of 7 months. And I cannot imagine going through that type of pain, going through that type of grief. Not only having to grieve your mother, but then 7 months later, having to grieve your father. I cannot imagine that type of hurt and that type of pain. The pastor of the church that I grew up in for the first 18 years of my life, he passed away from COVID. And then his wife passed away, I think maybe like 3 or 4 days later. So I think that's something where I guess, I don't know if Angie Stone and, D'Angelo were necessarily soulmates per se, but that tends to happen quite a bit. But I'm just so, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm just so sad for all of the family and all of his fans and everyone who enjoyed D'Angelo's music, everyone who enjoyed what he had to offer to the world. It's a great loss that we're having in our community, not only in the Black community, but also in the music community, that he is no longer with us. And so my condolences to D'Angelo's family, D'Angelo's friends, D'Angelo's community, all of his fans who are grieving his loss as well. This came out of nowhere for me, at least. Once again, I had no idea that he was suffering with pancreatic cancer, and I think it says something to the fact that when Chadwick Boseman, when we found out that that he had cancer and that he had passed away, and nobody knew that he had cancer, and it was just so sad to see at the time. And so it's something that we all have to deal with. We all have to deal with death in some way, shape, or form. And we just have to go through it. But the best thing to do is hold on to Christ, hold on to God. And he will make a way. Got Miss Kim in the building. What's going on, Miss Kim? Greetings and salutations, my love. I'm so glad to see you in the comments. She says, "Hey, Jonathan, I'm absolutely devastated by D'Angelo's passing. Yeah, it's been quite a bit for a lot of people to deal with, especially those who were huge fans of his, and even those like myself who weren't maybe the biggest fans of his. Once again, I didn't listen to his music that much, but I definitely understood the impact that he had on the music community." Ms. Kim also says, "I was thinking about D'Angelo not too long ago, wondering when he was releasing his next project. This is such a loss, not any in music, but his son just lost his mom." Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's so sad that D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son have to deal with their loss. Bianca's in the building. Hey, Bianca, what's going on, boo? So glad to see you. How are you doing tonight, girl?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And I'm sorry that it took me so long to send you the link, but I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you are here. I was just discussing the loss of D'Angelo. He passed away either Monday or Tuesday. I was telling the viewers that my best friend Lenora called me Tuesday because she was a big fan of D'Angelo. Called me to let me know that it happened. I had no idea that it had happened. So what was your reaction? Were you shocked as everyone else?
I was because it seemed like it came out of nowhere, but of course you have to respect that people want to keep stuff like that private and grief with their family.
Exactly.
I feel so bad that their son just lost mom and dad in a couple of months.
7 months, 7 months apart. Yeah.
And he was just about to drop an album. He was doing his big comeback. And now it's so sad, so unfortunate.
Yeah. Miss Kim said in the comments that she was just thinking about D'Angelo the other day, and she says, "Hey, Bianca," in the comments as well. And wondering when he was going to release his next project. And, that's it's just so sad. But as I was saying before you came on, when Chadwick Boseman's death came about and no one knew that he had cancer, I did not know that D'Angelo was dealing with pancreatic cancer. I don't know if the general public even knew. I didn't know that it was, information that was open to the public. I don't know if anyone else knew, but I respect those people's decisions to keep that private, because then all once you hear cancer, all people are thinking is, okay, when are they going to pass away? When
Right.
are they going to lose their battle? So I understand that for sure.
So sad.
It is. It is very sad. So before Jennifer gets in here, I do want to speak on a couple things real quick. So there was this group chat that was done amongst some Republicans, some younger Republicans. Some were reporting that they were teenagers. It's also been reported that there were quite a few that were of age in their 30s and things of that nature. And they were apparently spouting quite a bit of racist rhetoric, and they were being very hateful towards people in the LGBTQIA plus community, also people who were Black, talking about slavery, things of that nature. And our vice president, JD Vance, decided to speak on it. And he said that, it's there, it's not new. And I'm paraphrasing here. I don't remember exactly what he said word for word, but he doesn't want to ruin the lives of those who make mistakes in their younger years, or for people who say problematic things. We should be focusing on the real issues, the fact that the government is shut down. And he did not say that this is this is ridiculous, this is absolutely terrible that these words were even spouted about. And he had no issue, it seems like he had no issue with the fact that these young Republicans were spouting all of this rhetoric about African Americans and about those in the LGBTQIA plus community. I don't know if they were saying those things specifically, but that does not surprise me at all that JD Vance has no issues. And JD Vance, I believe, has a wife of color. I don't know if she's Indian or whatever race she is, but I know that she's not white. So it's interesting to me that he doesn't find too much issue. It's not that he didn't find any issue, but he didn't find too much issue with the fact that these young Republicans were spouting all of this racism. But he wants to, deviate from that and say we need to talk about the real issues. Like, no, the real issue is that white supremacy is still alive and well in America to this day. And until we get a grapple onto that, until we get a hold onto that, then we are just avoiding I don't want to say the inevitable, but we're avoiding the truth of where we stand as a country. Bianca, had you heard anything about this, and what is your reaction to that?
I hadn't heard anything about it. I'm not surprised either, but it's funny how you want us to focus on the real things or the important things when it comes to them, but y'all cancel shows for people giving their opinion and speaking their truth.
Right, exactly. Ms. Kim says down in the comments, D'Angelo always was always very private when he didn't have a project to promote. Yeah, that is the way that it is with a lot of artists. Like, we only hear from Sade when she's about to put out a project. So, different artists do different things for different reasons. And, I respect all of them for all the choices that they make. Bianca, could you read that comment from Ms. Kim as well?
So it says that group of young Republicans ranged in age from 24 to 36. They're not that young, nor are they kids.
Right, exactly. And then we have one more from Ms. Kim as well.
It says Usha Vance is Indian, or Usha.
Gotcha. I knew she was a woman of color, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So the Victoria's Secret fashion show happened earlier I think it happened last night, maybe. And Angel Reese was the first athlete to ever walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I saw her in 2 looks. There was one look where like the top of her looked like she had something like a crop top of some sort that was kind of covering her bra. I didn't necessarily like what she was wearing there, but her walk was everything. Her walk was amazing. And also Missy Elliott performed at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I've never been the biggest on keeping up with the Victoria's Secret fashion show, besides the fact when the Spice Girls, performed there, I was there to see that, to see my girls, honey. But I think it's great that the Victoria's Secret fashion show is still as big as it is, and it's still seen as a great event for us. The stage was beautiful. It looked like it was like a stage for like a huge concert. Like, I love the way that they put on that show. And it is a great advertisement for them as well. But I'm so proud of Angel Reese doing her thing, a beautiful Black woman walking down the runway like she was a pro, like she's been doing this all her life. Bianca, did you see that? Did you see any of the Victoria's Secret fashion show? Then did you hear that Angel Reese was actually going to walk it?
I didn't know that she was going to walk until they showed her. When I saw the clips of her walking, I think she did an amazing job. She looked really good, and congratulations to her. I loved it. I loved the
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead. There's a little bit of a delay, Bianca, but go ahead. I apologize.
Oh no, I was done. I just said that I liked Missy Elliott's performance and everything. Like, I loved it. It gave what it was supposed to give.
Absolutely. Auntie Robin is in the building. Hey, Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin says, hey, gonna check the replay, watching Law and Order. Okay, Miss Robin, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your presence, honey. We appreciate you being here, my love. So let me see, what else do I want to talk about? Is that Jennifer? Oh no, that's just TD. Not just TD, but that's Tyrone down in the waiting room. But it looks like Jennifer might be coming in. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so I don't know if Alfred Line is coming out with a tell-all book. I don't know exactly what he's going to be revealing in this tell-all book. I don't know what he plans to to say. Britney, I've been a big Britney Spears fan for quite a while. And Britney did respond saying that she's been trying, there's been a lot of talk about her relationship with her two sons and, people kind of questioning her mothering and things of that nature. I don't know what Kevin Federline wants to say in this book. I don't know if I care to find out what he's going to say, even though I'm sure everyone's going to know eventually what he's going to say in the book. And I want to know, what is his intention behind releasing this book? Is he going to tell us something about Britney that we don't know? I'm interested in understanding that. Or is this just a simple, a simple.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I thought it was me.
Oh, okay. Jonathan,
Jennifer or Bianca, either one of y'all can chime in.
Oh, okay. It's your computer area. It kind of went out a little bit, Jonathan. We missed the last part. We pretty much knew what you were saying though. Mm-hmm. And don't worry, all is well. Anywho, but yeah, you're back on point now. I actually see your eyes moving and confusion and stuff like that. So
yes.
So I'll just go ahead. One thing that I did hear that he said that they were that was mentioned in the book, an instance of when allegedly, because I don't even know if I believe it myself, he said that she stood over them Charon's, bed or whatever with a knife in her hand. Just like that was, I guess that's supposed to be the mic drop in there. But I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I feel both me and Bianca, of course, we're on the same page as far as, what he's trying to do. Because, the money dried up. As soon as those kids turned 18, it was a done data. There was nothing else. Like, it's not like he was getting alimony or anything. It was literally just child support. Because he was the main custodial parent. And I think that was, I personally don't believe that was done because he was just that great of a father. I believe it was done so he could catch child support checks for the next 18 years for those children. But I feel like this is just another desperate attempt to bring some money into his pockets.
Absolutely.
And I also do believe that he made sure I don't know if that's him. It's just allegedly, but I do believe that he fought to make sure that those two, the relationship with their mother was not anything. That's what I believe.
Gotcha. Bianca, did you hear about Kevin Federline putting out a tell-all book? And what do you think his intentions might be by actually doing this?
Money, 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 money. That's all he wants. Because first off, I don't even know why anybody would even be interested in anything that man has to say in the first place. I just don't see it. I don't know how well the book is going to do. I would be surprised if it did decent. Because again, nobody wants to hear anything that he has to say.
No.
Nobody been checking for him this whole entire time. And now you want to pop out the woodwork talking about you writing a tell-all. Tell-all about what? What is it that you have to tell us all of that we want to hear? Nothing. So I think it's just a money grab, to be honest, and good luck to him.
Absolutely. My computer is still trying to catch up. I don't know if there's still a delay here. But Jennifer, I'm going to go out and come back in. Could you give the people your reaction to D'Angelo's passing? Because I know that you are a huge fan of his. And you were shocked when I sent you that text message to let you know that he had passed. So if you could share with the good people while I go out and come back in, what were your thoughts on his passing and how were you feeling?
Yeah, for me, well, first of all, Miss Kim, that's the first message she has in here. It says, "Hey, Jonathan, absolutely devastated by D'Angelo's passing." Yeah, that was difficult to hear about. Um, not to be shady, but at least it feels like he lived his life. You know,
Yeah. I,
um, it feels like he had his downs and he was able to come back in a way because you remember when he was really thickums and he was able to slim back down and it seemed like he got things back on track for himself and he was doing performances and stuff like that. So it looked like he was able to have life and have it again. But
right.
it's sad. I my my album is the Brown Sugar one. I never really got
Mhm.
far into voodoo, but I was certainly as a youngin looking at the bottom of that TV screen for the How Does It Feel? Excuse me, the Untitled. That video,
Right, do it.
okay? Just so
Trying to
you
piece that.
know, because that V was on point and muscular, and of course, all these um all these TikTok videos showing it over and over again. Child is a lot going on, but I hate how it has to get to a point where people go to glory to get recognition. I
Right.
believe he did get a good bit of flowers while he was on this earth, and I to be honest, y'all, I'm just happy it wasn't because of drugs.
Yeah. Now that's
Right.
something about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Let me go through the rest of the comments. Miss Kim says, I was thinking about D'Angelo not too long ago, wondering when he was releasing his next project. This is such a loss, not only in music, but his son just lost his mom. Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't matter how good or bad a relationship is with a parent, it's still a parent. So, you know, I don't know what to say. It sucks. Um, That sucks, man.
It
Miss
does.
Kim says hi to Bianca. Miss Kim also says D'Angelo was a very private good thing. When he didn't have a project to promote. And I see why. Apparently, that world of being out there in these streets is it's very dicey. And I saw him do a interview where he said he didn't
Hmm.
want to speak on, other stuff going on in the industry. And that just tells you how much of an effect that it might have had on him. You could see he was like, how you can see that somebody's holding in a flood?
Really affected by it.
Yeah. Yeah, like you could
Hmm.
see it like, oh gosh. Miss Kim also says that group of young Republicans range from 24 to 36. They were not young, nor are they kids. Uh, of course, y'all heard about that, right? Because I'm sure y'all talked about it.
I
Um,
did. I spoke on it before you came on.
Yeah, they weren't youngins. Mm-mm. These were grown adults, and they knew exactly what they were doing and saying. Not everybody coming out so surprised. Oh no! Okay, moving on and moving forward. Uh, Miss Kim says Usha Vance is Indian. Did you know that?
Jonathan said he knew she wasn't white, but he didn't know what exactly she was.
Yeah, yeah, she's Indian. Oh, poor Jonathan. It looked like he's still catching up. Miss Robin says, "Hey, gonna check the replay. Watching Law and Order. Understood, friend. Enjoy yourself." Say hey to Miss Robin.
Oh, we went through these.
Hey, Auntie Robin.
Oh, you already went through these. Oh, I'm confusing. My bad. I'm like,
We
Y'all
did.
ain't gonna say that, y'all rude.
okay, I'm sorry. Miss Kim says, Brittany had no business getting with Kevin Federline. He was he was in a relationship with Shar Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, he had it. I mean, hey, that's just how things go. Um, sometimes you find somebody that's more of a cash cow than the one that you had. Lord have mercy. But yeah, I agree with Ms. Kim when she says Kevin is a dirt bag. I agree wholeheartedly. That's exactly what he is. A bag of dirt. And also, Ms. Kim says, you must revisit voodoo. I stood on a step ladder trying to see.
I know that's right, Miss Kim.
I knew he was trying to figure out something else to do. Anywho, because he was not paying us no mind. Anyway,
Y'all, I'm trying to figure something out, y'all. Can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
You sure
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
need
know
to
what's
turn
going
on
on
your
with the
volume?
computer.
Your volume? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all.
Can you wait? You sure this got a delay too? Lord in heaven. Anyway, you must revisit voodoo. I was on a step ladder trying to see what was going on down there.
It's so funny how things are universal. We know each other from a can of paint, but all of us end up just talking about in the TV.
Child. Woo. And what's hilarious is like we've seen it. I've seen it again so much like on TikTok and everything. Boy, I tell you.
Chiseled. You hear me?
Okay. So
Oh, poor thing.
he said, I just want to get my show straight. All right. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all fine. I just had to try to figure out a way to get back on here. I'm so sorry, but my computer was like just backing up and, doing its own little thing. So I guess I'll just have to do the show with my head held high if it kills me. I was about to say just with my hand because I'm just holding my phone right in front of me. But yeah, we just got to do it like this because my computer is just acting
What
stupid.
did you have some wings or something?
No,
Okay, what's under your fingernails? I'm sorry.
I did have some wings earlier today. I actually did have some wings earlier today.
You see how I did?
Um, yeah, yeah. Are those all the comments?
Yeah, I finished them.
Okay, cool. So we must get into the biggest story that came out last week, right after our show, our live last week. Miss Wendy Osefo from Housewives of Potomac. Her and her husband, Edward, now that we know his name is Edward Osefo, they were both arrested last Thursday night and charged with fraud. They reported a break-in, a burglary in their house earlier this year, claiming that various jewelry and various high-priced items were stolen from their home. It was investigated by the authorities, and it was found that there was no burglary at all. There was no evidence of it seems like they set it up to look like a burglary, but apparently they didn't do it the right way or they didn't do it good enough to make it stick, because it was found that it was not true. Also, there was that she had apparently bought some stuff and then returned it, and the things that she returned, she actually stated that those things were stolen when they seem not to have been in her possession at the time of the burglary. Also, there was an engagement ring or like an anniversary ring that she was rocking that she claimed was stolen, but she was seen on a live or on some type of camera actually wearing the ring itself. So I am devastated by this news. Wendy, as you all may or may not know, is my favorite housewife on Housewives of Potomac. I'm not sure she'll still hold that particular position in my brain, but I'm devastated. And I'm not looking forward to the backlash that this is going to cause for Wendy and Eddie going forward. I don't believe that she will be at the reunion for this year. I don't expect her to be at the reunion this year. And I honestly don't want her to be at the reunion this year because Wendy has never been the best, at least in my opinion, at a comeback. And I know that these girls are going to rake her over the coals. I know these girls are going to give her the business. Um, Bianca was actually the first person that told me about it. I think it was that Friday, the Friday after our live show, that she sent me the Instagram post, and I was shocked. I was shocked and appalled, and I believe that Karen might get a little bit of a pass if Wendy comes back for the next season. That is, they're probably going to be focusing on Wendy more than Karen, and I'm just so sad for Wendy, even though she did something that was illegal, even though all the evidence, I mean, there's literally emails of Eddie emailing Wendy to find more items to put on their insurance claim so that they can reach their max for their insurance claim. And they apparently made 3 different insurance claims for 3 different insurance companies. I don't know what that is all about, but I feel, I don't know why I feel bad for saying that I feel sad for Wendy because, she did what she did and she did it willingly, but I think it's mainly because I love her so much and I'm so disappointed that she felt like she had to go to these lengths to keep up with the Joneses. And that's clearly what was happening here, is that she was trying to keep up with the Joneses. When you're buying things and then returning them for a full refund, I don't know if she was buying them just to wear those things during the show or whatever the case might be. But like Funky Dineva said, I saw the clip of him talking about this particular issue. It seems as though she was trying to make it seem as though she had more than she really had. And to me, that is a very sad thing, but it doesn't surprise me at the same time. Bianca, I'll have you go first. What was your reaction to this news of fraud?
Well, my initial reaction was not 4 degrees and a lawyer.
Right,
I'm not surprised though, and I hate that Wendy is getting all this slack because this is nothing new. We have
right,
housewives on Beverly Hills. We got Jen Shaw of it all. We have all these other housewives that committed fraud. Beverly Hill, they did it against the elderly and the children. At least, not saying that what she did was okay, but at least what Wendy did didn't affect nobody but her and Eddie.
exactly.
So I don't like that she's getting all this slack, and I don't like people are saying that, oh, she's not going to be on the show anymore. No, I feel like it solidified her chick. Andy loved Messy. Hell, Andy have allegations that's way worse than that, if we want to talk about it. So
Okay.
I don't think that it's that big of a deal. Now, as far as her coming to the reunion, it's a must. She have to, because she said that my auntie Karen didn't come to the reunion because she didn't want to be held accountable and she didn't want to, get put in her place about it. So now she passed the torch. You don't have a rehab to say you were going to. You are available. So you're gonna have to go. And I don't feel like she's gonna get a pass next season. Or I don't feel like Karen is gonna get a pass next season either. I think they're gonna be double every time somebody get into it with either one of them. That's the first jab that they're gonna throw at both of them. So
Right.
I mean, it's sad that it happened. It's stupid that it happened for y'all to have all these items sitting in the house that y'all said were stolen. For you to be sitting up here walking the red carpet with a ring on that you said was stolen. I mean, let's be for real. You said some items were stolen and you got a receipt for it that you took it back 2 weeks before you claimed them as being stolen. I'm just trying to see what type of 4 degrees and what type of lawyer would sit up here and concoct this and not do it better than that. Because people do fraud every day and half of them don't get caught.
Mm.
So I just didn't understand it. Again, other housewives have done it. This ain't nothing new. So I don't think it's that big of a deal as everybody is making it to be. I think she should solidify her check and she's going to be back next season.
Wow. I love your point of view.
Yeah.
Um, I was very surprised. My mouth was certainly wide open. I was like, "What?" Out of anybody, it's like we wanna be able to uphold the people that have, other stuff outside of the show,
Right.
and
Mhm.
it's like, for her to be so accomplished and and it just seems like okay, I just keep on thinking, how stupid can you be to send emails of your fraud, intentions? I think that was the stupidest thing, and how on earth can you say that you're a lawyer and you're sending out emails, 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 emails? At least
Paper trail.
I got a question. Don't they live together?
that's what I'm saying, why couldn't we talk in the bed? You know what I'm
Or
saying?
at least a phone call.
A cellular phone call because your cellular phone calls are not being scripted. Why
Right.
did an email? And a part of me is like, did they want to get caught? Like, how stupid is that? How stupid? Um, and it's like, I think I would have accepted text messages, but they can all still get into your text messages. Why would you? So I think I've just come to the resolve that they're just stupid. And just like you said, you watched Funky Dineva talked about it. I did too. And it's like, it just sounds like falling into a trap of trying to be something that you're not.
Right.
And I love how he said it. You were never one of the fashion girlies. It's no shade, but it's just no one's really saying, "Ooh, gosh, she really stepped in that." You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like he's right. He was not lying. It's like, what were you trying to live up to?
Exactly. And just allow your supporters to support you for who you are genuinely.
Exactly.
Um, and like Funky Dineva said, she was clearly trying to keep up with the Joneses. And for it to be put on blast like that, like I cannot imagine the embarrassment that she is feeling. And I'm wondering how she is going to come back from this. And I have no idea. I really do have no idea how she is going to take this on. I mean, all the evidence that they have, I mean, I hope they don't take Karen's route by taking it to trial. I do hope that they take a plea deal of some sort if it is offered to them.
Mhm.
Whether they'll do jail time or not, I'm not sure. I don't know what type of time that those charges hold. I have no idea about that. But at the end of the day, I do feel sorry for her. Like I understand why she did what she did. That doesn't make it right in any way, shape, or form. But I get it. I really do get it. When you're on a show like that, you if you are not that girl, if you are just clearly not that girl, then just don't go on those shows. But if you're trying to fake the funk and you're trying to make it seem like you're somebody that you're not, I mean, you at least have to be good at it. And I guess apparently Wendy and Eddie weren't good at it. I just feel so bad for them though, like because she was truly my favorite housewife, and Eddie was truly my favorite house husband. And I hate that this had to happen to them, but it has happened, and we'll just see where it goes from here. Jennifer, do you think Wendy's going to appear on the reunion and or the next season?
The bulk of me doesn't care, but
Right, I
it's
figured that.
yeah, but I don't know. I think I want to go along Bianca's route, saying that
Hmm.
it would be, hey, it's something to do, and it's not like she ain't got nothing else to do. So other than go to jail if that is so be it. But to be, I just want to comment on you saying that you feel sorry for them. It's difficult to feel sorry for people that knew what they were doing.
I feel this way because I love her so much, because she is my favorite. Like, it's like I can't believe that it happened. I fully understand that they literally did this to themselves. Like they can only blame themselves. Like I get that wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to make excuses for them whatsoever because they should not have done what they did. But at the same time, because she is my favorite, I still feel bad for her. I think it's different from Karen because I didn't see Karen in that light. And I wasn't surprised by what I saw on the dash cam from what Karen was doing. Is because I think it's mostly because this was so unexpected because I did not see this coming from in any way, shape, or form. So I just think that
I
I'm
think it's
still
more.
trying to
I think it's more
go
that
ahead.
you're disappointed than
Yes,
anything. Just
absolutely.
disappointment. 'Cause you don't feel well, once again, it's hard to feel bad for people that know what they were doing. That's just they knew what they were doing.
You
I
know,
think I think it's also that a lot of people, even before this happened, did not like Wendy because of her superiority, and because of the face that she was putting on for the cameras, because of all the things that she was doing to make it seem as though she was that girl. And now all of those people are just proven right. And for Wendy to have to combat that, I can't imagine how how that feels. I don't know. It's a
she
lot. It's a
the
lot.
facade. She knew she wasn't that girl. People peeped it,
Right.
and that's what happened. But you know what you should feel sorry for? Mrs. Osefo, Mama Osefo. You know Eddie mama didn't care for it anyway. The family
Mm,
had just came back around last season. Remember the sister and her,
right.
now after this, they gonna be like, y'all know they had the whole thing about her family and her tribe, not
Hmm.
seen in the best light over there. Oh, his mama is about to eat this up. And I know Wendy mama is so disappointed. My daughter is a professor. She's Dr. Wendy. Well, she resigned from her job, so no more of that. So
Right.
that's what I feel sorry for, because she finna catch the wrath from both her mama and his.
And I also feel sorry for her children because her children are of the age that they will hear about these things more than likely in school. I'm sure I'm sure all of their classmates know exactly who they are and who their parents are. So I feel bad for them as well. I feel bad all the way around, to be honest.
Now I do feel for the kids because they are old enough.
Yeah.
So sorry. Gosh. Miss Kim says I was shocked by this. I just it just doesn't match Wendy's on-show character. She carried herself with so much better than this to only be, oh Lord Jesus, a Nigerian scammer.
Yikes.
Right. As Kim says, Wendy led with her accomplishments, class, and poise. That was enough. I didn't look to Wendy for luxury. Exactly. Maybe she a part of me wishes think excuse me, a part of me thinks she wishes she was that particular kind of girl.
Of
And
course.
Turned into it though. After
mm-mm.
her first season and when she got her body done, I feel like her fashions was
They did come up for
They
sure.
were.
And apparently for all that stuff that comes at a price that they weren't paying.
yeah.
Yikes. Yikes. Um,
And
so I have to
it
do
makes me wonder how often do you think they might have done this?
Right.
I I don't know. And I don't know if I want to think about that.
But
Sorry.
people don't get caught a lot of times, and they probably got too greedy.
Right. Yeah. I would not be surprised if this was not the first time that they've done something like this. That would not surprise me at all, if that answers your question.
I guess that's what happens when maybe we invest too much money into other companies. Maybe we invest too much money into trying to make yourself a TV personality because
Right.
you had to get online. She had to buy like a whole set. Didn't she get like a whole like apartment for it or something like that for her to do her videos?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
But she did all of that. It's like maybe she was spending way too much money than what they were bringing in from they getting the body done to trying to open company after company and stuff like that. Maybe that's what it is.
I just hope
Yeah.
they put any of that money into their businesses.
Well, we'll see.
Um,
But it is
we
a sad
will
day
see.
regardless. It's a sad day.
Yeah.
It is. It
Damn.
is really sad. So I have to do the rest of the topics off the top of my head, but I do think that we will be fine. So if you guys don't, I don't know if you guys remember, but back when Serena appeared on during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, Stephen A. Smith, he felt as though it wasn't right for Serena, being a married man, to include herself
Wait,
in a beef.
Serena being a married man?
No, I'm sorry. Serena being a married woman. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much for that correction. Serena being a married woman, to include herself in the beef between Kendrick Lamar and her ex-boyfriend. That if that were his wife, he would have issue with that. And and as a husband, your wife shouldn't be caring about what's going on with her ex or whatever the case might have been. Well, Serena's husband, Alexis Ohanian, I believe is his name, he appeared on ESPN this past week, and Stephen A. Smith just so happened to be on the panel. And he asked Stephen A. Smith, Stephen, any advice you have to give for this married man? Anything you need to say to me while we are on live on camera? Any words for your boy? And Stephen A. Smith did not want the smoke at all. And I can't say that I was surprised, because, when LeBron James confronted him in person on that court, and, Stephen A. Smith kind of backed up, and, he's like, no, nothing to see here, and then later on, Stephen A. Smith said, that wasn't the time and or the place to have that particular conversation, which, I understand Stephen A. Smith is a professional. He doesn't want to do anything like that. But at the same time, his rhetoric on a regular basis makes it seem as though you do want the smoke. So I'm sure that might have been the reason why Alexis, gave him that opportunity, that space and opportunity to say what he had to say to his face. Stephen A. Smith said, if they were off camera, he would have said the same exact thing to his face. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but Stephen A. Smith didn't look like the strong Black man that maybe some, assume that he is. So I'll start with you, Jennifer. Did you see this exchange? And whether you did or did not, were you surprised that Stephen A. Smith didn't want the smoke?
I saw every bit of it. It was freaking hilarious. Stephen A. Smith, he was like, oh, I'm not married. Look. And let me take a step back. When for Stephen A. Smith to say that LeBron stepping to him in the way that he did in the time that he did was like, it just wasn't the place or time. That's bull hockey. Okay. It's not like he was on screen. It's not like, he was there. And let's be real, they're not in the same place all the time.
Right.
The time and the place was right there because the
Exactly.
opportunity was available. You're
Right.
here, I'm here, I needed to talk to you.
Let's do this.
He wasn't behind no microphone. He didn't have no headset on. He was there, and he wasn't in the moment at a work capacity. So he had an opportunity to talk to him, and talk to him he did, as he should. And he apparently was gathered, and I bet you that face looked just the same as that face looked when Alexis was getting on him. Let me tell you something, Alexis, if y'all haven't been paying attention to that man, I'm sorry, he act more like a Negro than some other people out here. Okay?
Okay.
Because he be gathering people for his wife and daughter. Okay? He
Right.
be getting at these people for his wife. And when he said what he said, it was a blessing unto my soul.
Right. He said, when I talk, you know what I'm saying, I speak on the things I know about, and last time I checked, Stephen A. Smith was never a married man.
He said, I speak to people that want to create billionaire companies, because what? I am a billionaire company.
Okay.
I have a $1 billion company. Are you married? He's like, they're not married. And then this is what really gets me. I don't know if y'all saw, but afterwards, Steve is still talking about it.
Still, I saw it.
And also on top of that, he's still having to backpedal about the things that he said about Jasmine Crockett.
Right. He said that she was bringing the hood to the executive office, or whatever the case might be. Like, sir, you said what you said. Just stand behind it.
But let's be real. What he said was some BS, though.
It was.
Because her speaking the way she speaks, she's only being herself. And with
Right.
everything that she says, she comes with facts and she still says it intelligently. You just
Right.
upset because she sound like the girl from around the way that never wanted you.
Come on.
Mm. Uh-oh.
That's
Come
why he feel away. And it's like he does have, I don't know if that's his only daughter. I've seen her, she's really cute and been speaking and stuff like that, like her father, and got sense and all that stuff. But for him to speak so wholeheartedly the way that he be speaking, I see why he's not married.
Right.
Because when you bend to serve a narrative, I don't see him as a man. Cause sometimes he be talking right, and the rest of the time, when I say sometimes, I say 30% of the time he talking. Okay.
Hmm.
And the rest of the time he's on some BS. And I know he does it just to be seen.
Right.
And what bothers me, if you're gonna be that way, be that way. Standing it like a Candace Owen, standing it like all those other pundits that are out there. Because when they come at him, the people come at him, he
on.
It's
Dig.
never the time nor the place. Never.
anywho, that really brings up the word pussy for me. That's what he
Oh,
is. Because and now I'm starting to go down the lane of the bands.
oh, I was just about to, those words were just about to come out my mouth, girl.
That's exactly what he is. And he would I can't see him be anything else other than that. I'm a hush, Bianca. Go on ahead.
Well, I don't see how you said it on air, but y'all can't discuss it on air. It was the
Right.
time and place for you to say it, but now it's not the time for and the place for him to address it. Let's be real. If you're not really going to stand on what you got to say, then maybe you need to think about what you said before you do, because you just so happen to run into some really good people who have stuff to lose, but you're going to run your mouth one day about the wrong person.
Come on.
Right.
For you, it ain't going to be too pretty for you. They ain't going to let you just get away. It's going to be a hot.
Right.
Somebody gonna lay hands on him.
So
Okay.
he might
They're gonna
want to.
put their paws on you.
He know these people these days are crazy. Like they don't care.
That's
They
for
risk it
him
all
too.
for a little bit. So he might want to calm it down before he get got. And not necessarily in like an out way, but he'll get got. People crazy.
But you know he won't though. You know he won't because that's where his bread and butter is.
Right.
That's how he make his money, by being outlandish, boisterous, and annoying. And that's
And
how
loud.
and loud. Oh
Oh,
gosh.
he'd be crime victim if something do go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And be trying to be politically correct in some areas. And like, oh my gosh, he's not even the fence that he straddled. He's still on the other side of the fence, but he be looking over here trying to make sure he still has the African American people, still listening to him. Miss Kim says, when you speak crazy about someone, wherever someone catches you is the right place for you to get to the business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So something shocking, well, at least to me, I don't know if you guys were surprised by this, but Kandi Burruss had a show with Tammy Roman and one of her daughters. And also Candy's daughter was there as well. And the topic of Tammy's daughter's graduation came up. Tammy's daughter is a same gender loving woman, and she wanted her girlfriend to attend her graduation. Tammy was not in agreement with this. Tammy did not want this to happen. Tammy said that she did not know her well enough. She said that she wanted to know that the relationship was going to last, that she said that, she wanted to know that this was the real thing. Now, Tammy's other daughter was able to bring her boyfriend to the graduation. There was no issue with that, but she did not want the daughter who was actually graduating to have her significant other there. And, Kandi had issue with that. And, she was like, well, how long do they have to be together for you to be okay with them? They brought up the fact that, Thanksgiving was coming up. Tammy said, the girlfriend would not be joining them for Thanksgiving. And, Tammy she said that it was about her mental health. like Tammy said, it was about her mental health, that she still had to wrap her mind around this whole thing and completely avoiding the whole talk about her acceptance of her daughter's sexuality. She did not address that directly. And Tammy has been someone who has always, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, has been an ally for the LGBTQIA plus community. When she first appeared on The Real World, she was working as an advocate for HIV and AIDS victims back in the early 90s when it was still running rampant around these parts. So it seems like she has always been an ally for us. She had never been problematic for us, but I think it's interesting to find that when it happens in your own home, we tend to see where you truly stand. And that's nothing against Tammy. If that's how she feels about it, she has a right to that feeling. I cannot make you accept me for who I am. I cannot make you accept your child for who they are. That's something that has to go on between you, your child, and God. That's something that y'all have to figure out. But that saddened me because it seems as though Tammy has no issue with the LGBTQIA plus community when it doesn't have anything to do with her own family. And that is disappointing to me as a Tammy Roman fan. And it shocked me that, first of all, she was open enough to speak about this on a very popular podcast, on Candy's podcast. But it shocked me even more that she had these feelings towards her daughter. And I'm glad that she's not outright denying her daughter or not loving her daughter, but we've still got some ways to go with this. Bianca, did you see this interview? What are your thoughts and what are you thinking about this? What are you thinking?
I'm not surprised. A lot of people can't see it. It takes them a while to grasp their mind around their own.
Right.
You can accept somebody else's, and it may take time for you to process because you got to also think about it. Everybody was raised differently. Everybody don't think that it's okay, although they may say, "Hey, you live your life how you want to. That's between you and God. I love you for who you are." But when it's theirs, and especially if they think it's just the ultimate sin, they're trying to wrap their head around, "Oh my God, my child's not going to go to heaven." They're thinking about all this other stuff instead of just loving the person for who they are. Like, it's going to
Right.
take time for her to be able to see her and her girlfriend kiss and stuff like that. Sometimes they just make people, yeah. But we also got to think about who we're talking about too. We're also talking about Tammy. We see Tammy. We see how she looked versus how she used to look. Tammy has problems with her own issues with herself. Tammy don't accept herself. So if you can't even accept yourself, I'm not surprised that you can't accept anybody else and what they're going through or what they're dealing with. So it wasn't surprising to me. Again, like you said, at least she still love on her daughter.
Yeah.
They said very clear. Her daughter's been on the show with her. She was her daughter's manager. She loves her children. But again, you can't expect somebody to accept someone when they can't even fully accept themselves.
Right. And Jennifer, before you go, there was another story that was similar to this that came out, not necessarily the same exact thing, but Mama D was on a podcast with Lil Scrappy earlier this week as well. And for his 14th birthday, Mama D got him some strippers. And, Scrappy said that he was traumatized by that, at such a young age, seeing these women around. And she said, and Mama D said, no offense to the LGBTQIA plus community, but I wanted my son chasing PUSSY, not carrying a purse. And that's another mother who's like, I don't think Mama D has any issue with the LGBTQIA plus community in general, but understanding that she didn't want her son to be part of that. Now, it could be because that she didn't want him to have to go through the traumas that come with being part of the LGBTQIA plus community, the homophobia that comes with being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. That could be Tammy's thing as well. We don't know the specifics of their issues with that, but I think that goes to say that, it's interesting that they can be okay with it being someone else, but when it comes to them and theirs, it's a different story. Jennifer, go ahead. What were your thoughts on either one of those stories?
So I think maybe I'm harsh on it, but a part of me, and please forgive me for like checking out because I be wanting to talk, and it's like, let me just go ahead and check out just a little bit because if I don't, Imma try to talk over people and stuff. I'm being nice and sweet and gentle.
See, I have that issue, Jennifer, because I typically just talk over, and I need to work on that. I really do.
Yeah, so I try to focus elsewhere so I don't talk over people, not talk over people, but talk too much or, not give people their spaces. But let me just make sure I say this. I do feel that if you're cool with everybody else doing it, just not mine, I feel you do have a problem with it. That's
Yeah.
that's a problem because if there wasn't a problem, you'd be okay with your child being who they are, no matter how they turned out to be. So, as far as Tammy's concerned, I'm disgusted and over it, like
Yeah.
seriously. And just like you said, all the work that she has done for the community, but when it came to hers, and that's something that I see, and apparently we love Funky Dineva around here. Funky Dineva talk about often, you are cool with us until it's in your house. You
Right.
know, we're cool until I make you mad. Until and then I'm, every F word in the book. So,
Right.
um, yeah, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel about all of them. That's how I feel about it. If you
Yeah.
feel that who is in your family that's gay, that you don't want to be gay, I I felt the same way, Jonathan. You know, coming to I didn't have to come to grips because it's not like you changed who you were.
Right.
I just had to have confidence that you're gonna be fine outside. I don't
Right.
trust other people.
Yeah.
I know you're okay,
Yeah.
but I need to be able to trust that you'll be able to navigate life with other people in the way that they treat people of the LGBTQIA community.
Right.
I never wanted you to be anything else.
Yeah.
I never wanted to steer you into something else, though you thought I might have though you thought that I would rather have you marry a woman, like,
Oh, no, no, no. That wasn't the reason why I came out as bisexual initially. That was all me. I
you
I, I
thought
never thought you wanted me to be something different.
oh, thank you. Well, I'm happy
Yeah.
that so you thought you were bisexual?
I didn't think that I was bisexual. That's just what I told you because at that time that was my plan to marry a woman.
Oh,
And
either way.
yeah, I knew what my truth was. It's just that how am I going to navigate this for myself so that I can live
Regular life.
a regular thank you, live a regular life. Yes. So yeah, I didn't think you wanted me to change at all. No, I was doing that for me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I'm happy that you were able to settle on truth and decided to move forward in who you are.
Right.
But I find, especially with what Mama D did, absolutely disgusting. Along the same lines of Boosie,
Right.
absolutely disgusting. It does not matter, and he still ended up with a gay daughter. It does not matter
Oh,
what
because
you
he wouldn't
try.
get her for his daughter. He wouldn't get her no strippers. If
Mhm. So yeah, that I feel I don't have a whole lot of grace for that. But I love this is why I like the three of us doing this because I love what you gave Bianca talking about being able to settle with it. Now that I totally understand. Um, I do understand that you have goals or you see your child being something or somebody or a particular way. Um,
Right.
but when they grow up and they find who they are, it's time to accept that. And Jazz was everything that
Yeah.
I think she wanted Jazz to be her
Yeah.
or both of her children to be like her. or be a mirror of her. And
Hmm.
because of that is not happening, she doesn't like that. And it's crazy to me how she's just trying to not let it be in her house when this is your daughter's life. I really hope somebody that loves Tammy really good and that can talk to her will help her navigate that.
Yeah.
She got to navigate it on her own. Again, look at how she feels. She put on a little weight, and she think that she have to take medicine to lose it all because she see this is
Yeah.
beautiful. If she gain a little bit of weight, she start making herself upchuck just so she can get it off of her. She had it, so she have it with herself too. Not saying that any of this is,
Yeah, you're right.
but again, she have issues with herself that she still can't get over. And how old is she now? Tammy's almost what, 60?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's almost 60. So, and that's another thing too. They were in that era where stuff was frowned upon. Now, I am glad that she's not trying to change her daughter. She just
Right.
can't see it, like physically see it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am glad about that. It is progress. Although we hate to say it, that is progress. Um,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
I was thinking. I was thinking. Yeah, it could be worse. You know.
Yeah, it could be. Miss Kim says Tammy tried to blame her prejudice on conscious bias. She read an article. She read an article in a psychology magazine. Let me tell you something. Conscious bias has nothing to do. Okay, and I know she wants to try to make it. It's okay. I keep on thinking about her job right now, her current job. You know, like, wouldn't you not want to say that? And I think I appreciate her being open and honest about that, but it's not a good look, ma.
I do too. And I'm sorry I cut you off before, Bianca. Could you continue what you were saying? I apologize about that.
oh no, I was in. I got it out in a nutshell.
Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, I'd always seen Tammy as an ally for the LGBTQIA plus community. Once again, like I said, back in the back days when she first got on TV, she was an advocate for us when the HIV and AIDS epidemic was still going on, still in its biggest years. So I thought that she saw us, but once again, when it happens in your own family, I think that's when you have the reality of the actual situation hitting you right in the face. Um, and maybe that was a reality that hit Tammy square in the face. Maybe she thought that she was an ally herself. And maybe when she saw it for herself, she had a realization that, okay, maybe I don't, maybe I can't, maybe I'm not, you know? And I don't know if I'm making excuses for her, just like I was sort of kind of with Wendy, but like, when you like someone a whole lot and you see something about them that you don't agree with, it just makes you disappointed. Like you said, Jennifer, how I was feeling about Wendy. Like I just feel really disappointed to hear that, not only from Tammy, but from Mama D as well. Like, not that Mama D was like a gay icon or anything like that, but the gays live for Mama D. So, for her to say that, she didn't want him carrying purses, I was like, that's a cheap shot. Like, come on, like that's, you ain't got to do it like that. Like that. But hey, it's Mama D. I shouldn't be surprised.
No, I can see why you're surprised, Jonathan, because
Yeah,
she has a lot of the gays around her and everything,
she does.
and all it takes is just one conversation of how you truly feel to really snap you back into, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this is why I try my best to trust God, not people.
exactly, exactly. So before we get out of here, Bianca, why don't you share with the good folks your social media contacts real quick?
Bianca Edwards on everything.
All right, Genesita, could you please share with the good folks, the good viewers, honey, the good listeners, your social media contacts?
I am the Light of the Leo. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok as well as YouTube. I have a show that I do most Mondays. I was out on last Monday. I'm sorry, guys. But I got a show I do on Mondays at 9 Was it 9:30? What time do I do it?
9
9
o'clock.
at 9 p.m. Thank you. Uh, and I do want to shout out my husband. His name is Tina McCullum. Go ahead and follow him at Unveil Vibrations. This Wednesday, he played saxophone for the first time in almost 2 years on the show.
Mhm.
So, and it was wonderful. I was very proud of him. He's over here breaking self barriers on live. So join him every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. He does stay on long. So if you want to catch him, just jump on in, you know. And that's it. Oh, wait, hold on. Saturdays, Faithful Warrior Ministries. Join us there. We come together and pray and have some fun. Okay, I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Genesita. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. And my Cash App is $JonathanLee07. That's $JonathannLee07. I want to thank y'all so much for joining us. I'm so sorry for the technical issues that I had for this live. Hopefully on the next one, we won't have those issues, but thank you guys so much for sticking in there with us. Thank you so much for being in the comments with us. I really appreciate y'all. Be sure to join me on Monday night I guess it is Monday evening at 6 p.m. for my 90-day Fiancé Happily Ever After review with Dustin Butler, as well as joining us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. Until then, y'all, we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. Stay cool out there. Love you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Bye. You want me to
Bye,
turn it
guys.
off?
Please do.